Hi everyone, today I would like to discuss about the sample architecture to host any web application or a web service on Azure. So these are the few design considerations. I have already discussed about all these options and components available on AWS Azure GCP in the other video. Please go through that video. I'm directly jumping into the Azure architecture. So, if you want to host your website or a web service, first you need some space to configure your Nginx server or IaaS or Tomcat. So, for that, you will need either a physical server or a virtual machine server, or you can also use serverless cloud computing options. So, now in this architecture, we are taking Azure Virtual Machine to host your website either on IaaS or Tomcat or the Nginx. So instead of VM instance, if you think that you want to go with the serverless, you can pick app services, and they have a variety of plans like basic, standard, premium, and all. So you can pick one of them based on your requirement. So first you configure the VM instance, and then you also need to configure the network security groups on top of it. The other one is like in case if you want to make a auto scaling, then you have to enable virtual machine scale set. I'll discuss more about auto scaling and load balancing in the other videos. But now let me explain you the architecture. So now, yeah, I have configured two sets of the virtual machines. I need to balance the load in between these two. So what could be the next step? That is the load balancer. I need to configure a load balancer between two virtual machines. Similarly, you can also configure your load balancer between uh, app services. Okay. Now, after configuring the load balancer, it will maintain the load between the servers uh, uh, based on the traffic. So that is fine. Now, how about the security? So to take care of the security, you can configure your web application firewall, which comes along with the application gateway. You can also enable your DDoS protection. WF comes with the pre-configured OWASP security core rule set. That means it is application is well protected from OWASP indicated vulnerabilities. Coming to the DDoS protection, it's a distributed denial of service. Usually, it will make a service or website unavailable by flooding a unwanted traffic. So it can also be identified and protected by the Azure DDoS. So what's the next step now? You need to, the public cannot access your website through the IP, right? So that's where you need a domain. So Azure DNS will help you to configure your domain and to redirect to your IP internally. So that's where your end user will access your DNS, and you can and then it will redirect to your website. In between that, you can also configure content delivery network. Where does it help? If you want to deliver the pages differently from for various geographic locations, this will definitely help. The advantage is like you want to have a cache in the various locations and serve those pages to the particular locations, then also the CDN works. So after configuring the CDN, what is the next step? Now your VMs are with your website. You need to have some kind of backup mechanism. We never know when your servers fail, right? So let us have some backup mechanism on the blob storage. Blob storage is a place where you can save your files, objects, and data. So by using the blob storage, you can take the backup of your VM missions, or you can also have a look on Azure Site Recovery. Okay, now you got your blob storage ready. What's the next step? Now we never know when your servers get failed or down. So you can also configure your monitoring services by using a Azure Monitor. Whenever the server is down, you can simply get a notification from the Azure Monitor so that you can immediately take the necessary actions on it. Okay, now Azure Monitor finds some issue on the VM, and then it has to be notified to the user. So how does it happen? So you can utilize the notification hub to send them notification through email or SMS or any other way, so that the user will immediately take necessary action on it. All good so far. So what is the next one? Every application have the important part as a backend, that is a database. So you can, based on the technology you have already chosen, whether it could be Azure SQL or SQL Server or Cosmos DB or MongoDB, you can configure the backend on the cloud. Azure SQL is a managed service from the Azure, so that you don't need to worry about many aspects such as backup, high availability, and stuff. But if you have already a SQL Server license and if you want to configure, you can take Azure VM Machine and then you can configure your SQL Server by using your license keys. Now, all good so far. What is the next step? If you want to expose your APIs, you can use API Gateway. And then if you want to run some logic based on the requirement, maybe that functionality has to be only run when it triggers, then Azure functions can be used. So that's it for today. If you have any queries, you can drop them in the comments. I will definitely address them.